I am your astrologer, Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here is your weekly forecast for the week of Monday, March 5th to Sunday, March 11th, 2018. Now what we've got going on this week is the Sun and Neptune in a conjunction here in Pisces on Monday. And that for you is in your 8th house of changes, of endings and of beginnings, also of what? Big financial investments and of sex and intimacy coming in. So there could be, with the Sun-Neptune conjunction happening on Monday, some confusion here about some big changes you're making in life, about some big financial investments that you're making, or even about some deep, intimate, or sexual relationships that you currently have in your life or are considering having, or something of the sort coming in. I think what you're trying to do is you're trying to break through this confusion here to really get some insights about what's going on, to understand better spiritually, emotionally, and intuitively what you're feeling about these changes you're making, but maybe it being a little bit hard at the beginning of the week in order for you to get that insight you're looking for. Okay, while that's going on Monday, we also do have Venus, Mercury, and Chiron also in a conjunction at the very last degrees of your 8th house too. So not only may you be confused about some changes in your life or some big investments that you make, but I think you're also, they're uncomfortable. There's some kind of hurt feelings that could be coming up about some changes. Maybe a lot of these changes have to do with relationships and have to do with money, and you're hurt about how you spend your money and about how you spend your relationships. Maybe other people are hurt about the decisions that you're making about them or about the things that are coming up. Maybe again with money, you're worried, are you going to have enough money to sustain you with all this money going out? So I think there's just a lot of changes that you've been thinking about for the past few weeks that are going to hit you at the beginning of this week, that you're feeling confused about, that are hurtful, that you're going to have to figure out how to be patient, okay, and how to get through without making the situation any more tense and stressful than it has to or needs to be, okay? So that's going to happen at the beginning of the week on Monday, and planets are kind of just going to hang out not doing much. The next time they're going to do something, I want to say, is on Wednesday, when Mercury and Venus, as you can see right here in the chart, come off of Chiron at the very last degrees of Pisces and move into Aries, which is in your 9th house of something new and different that you have not done before. Traveling, studying, moving, that comes in. Okay, so I think what's going on is as you're thinking about these changes at the beginning of the week that you want to make in your life to put your life in a better place, and as they're kind of uncomfortable in some way, you keep moving forward, stepping into these changes, doing something new that you haven't done before. So I think that's what's going on. You're trying to change your life and or begin some things so that you can do something you haven't done before, do something new, find more excitement in your life in some way. And I think that's what you're trying to figure out on Wednesday, is how do I do this new thing that maybe I feel called to do, that I want to do, that excites me, while at the same time doing my best to resolve any confusion that may be going on inside me about some big change that I'm making to do this new thing. And how do I overcome some hurt feelings about some changes that I'm making so that I also can start to do something else that I enjoy more, that excites me. And so I think that's what you're trying to figure out from Monday to Wednesday is not just what changes can I make, how do I feel about them, in what way, but how can I really step into them, start doing these changes more, even if I'm uncomfortable about them. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Then on Saturday, which is the next aspect that we have, Mars in your 5th house here of happiness, love, romance, and kids also starts to come into a trine here with Uranus and your 9th house of something new. So I think after sitting all week with some uncomfortable feelings about some changes you've been making, trying to move forward anyways, to do something new, even though everything is uncomfortable, I think on Saturday you start to get more motivation, more passion, more drive to do something new and to be happy. You start to, after some hard stuff at the beginning of the week, you start to, I think, on Saturday, the very, very end of this week, begin to see more of the fruits of your labors. Begin to feel better that you've suffered or maybe struggled through some of this other stuff, maybe made some hard changes so that now you can start to reap the benefits, move forward, and feel better. And with this trine here coming in, I think there's lots of opportunity here for you to make some big changes really fast, to step into some new chapters and to be happy after everything that has come up. Okay, you could still feel hurt with Mars kind of coming into a square here with Chiron in your 8th house. You could still feel hurt about some changes that it is that you're making, but I think you begin to get more passion, more drive here to do something new, and you begin to move forward anyways, even if there are some things you're uncomfortable about. All right, I think that's just a big message of this week. While that's going on Saturday, as you're starting to step into something new, starting to feel better about it, starting to do things a lot faster with less obstacles in your way. We also do have Jupiter here going retrograde, and that for you is going to be in your 4th house of home and a family. So what's going on as you're trying to be happier, doing something new? I think you're reviewing your home life, or the foundation of which your life is built on, so that you can make sure that your home life is just right, that you're building your life on the right foundation, with the right home, with the right family that really resonates with you deep down inside. And I think you have a chance while this is going on at the end of the week, not only to move forward, doing something new that you enjoy coming in, that you like, or to start something new, that you enjoy, but I think it's also going to help you too to make sure that this new thing that you're doing can last, okay, and that you're making sure that you can do it right from here on out, creating something that really resonates with you emotionally happening there, okay, with Jupiter going retrograde on Saturday. Then after that, on Sunday, we've got the Sun here in your 8th house, making a sextile with Pluto, which is going to be in your 6th house of your job and your daily routines. So I think right at the end of the week, as you're starting to step into something new that you enjoy and begin to really hopefully build on it, or review some things so you can start to build on something new that makes you happy in the right ways, I think you start to again change your job, change your daily routines, change what your life looks like on the outside, to now incorporate some new thing that it is that you're doing that you can then begin to build on from here on out. And I do see that being a positive thing, more positive things coming in towards the weekend than at the beginning of this week. The one challenge that you could have, though, as we start to move through the weekend coming in, is Mercury on Sunday moving through your 9th house, making a square to Saturn in your 6th of your job and of your daily routines. So as you're doing something new that makes you happy, starting to really build on it and changing your daily routines and your life for the better, I think you really have to figure out how to bring the organization, how to bring the discipline in some ways, how to bring the strategy into your life to do this new thing. I think a lot of times that could come in for you, Leo, is that as you're changing your life to do something else, everything's up in the air, everything's crazy. You know, you're doing something new you've never done before, you don't know how to do this thing, you're changing something, ending one thing and another, and your life could be way up in the air, totally unorganized. And I think your challenge that comes in at the end of the week, as you're feeling a lot of passion, making some big moves, seeing some more doors start to open for you than they have been recently, your challenge is, okay, do some new thing, make these changes even if they're uncomfortable, but make sure that you're organizing your life, that you're not letting your life get the best of you, that everything isn't chaotic here, and that you can do what needs to be done on the day-to-day in a very, very practical way to move forward, to make sure you're not neglecting your health, to make sure you're not neglecting your job, to make sure you're not neglecting your daily routines that you need to sustain here in order to move forward doing some new thing that it is that you want to do. So I think that could be the challenge that comes in at the end of this week. You know, the beginning, not too much going on, working out a lot of inner stuff, feeling a little bit uncomfortable coming in, but still moving forward anyways. Then we get to Saturday here, lots of motivation to do things that you need, lots of passion, lots of excitement coming in, chances to change your life for the better, but just needing to keep on the ball here to make sure that everything is falling in line, everything's in order, and not as chaotic as it could be. All right, so that's what I see going on for you this week, Leo. Now your card for the week, the Knight of Swords. This is an interesting card. Lots of conversations this week, of course, with the swords happening here. These may be very exciting conversations in some way. They, you know, even with all your changes going on, you know, they could be a little bit hurtful too, especially at the beginning of the week coming in, but I think what you're having are important conversations. With this being a night here going on, I think these conversations are going to help you unlock some doors to do some things that it is that you want, and I think that's what you're trying to figure out this week. Not just how you can have the hard conversations about the things you really want and really feel on the inside and about some changes that you're making, but how you can start, especially with this night, to put a plan in place. You don't want to just talk this week. This isn't just talking about, oh, maybe I want this and maybe I want that. It's no, I want this. I'm sorry if that's how you feel, but this is how I feel. I want this, and this is the plan that we're going to put in place to sustain this thing that I know deep down in my heart I want and need, okay? And I think if you can do that this week, sorry if I'm talking in circles, have the hard conversations and put a plan in place, a good strategy in place to get the things that it is that you want. I think you're gonna be fine this week to make some things last, and hopefully here with this stuff coming in, make some changes in your life that are for the best, that are gonna help you here to do something new that really excite you and to move forward, okay? So that's what I've got for you this week, Leo. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.